What's up, football fans? Welcome to Bench Talk. This is the show where we talk about all things football. With me, as always, is my co-host, Aman Talyad. How are you doing, my brother?
Very good, thank you. I'm super excited to talk about some predictions. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited for the upcoming season. So like Aman just said, we're talking about predictions, the Premier League predictions, where each team is going to finish this season, as well as who's going to win the Europa League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup.
Yeah. We'll throw in some predictions of top goal scorers, top assists, and we also are really interested to know who's the first manager that will be sacked. So that's also one we want to try and put in there. But yeah, we'd love to know what you guys think of our predictions, where you agree, where you don't agree, and please send comments and send your stuff out to see, so we can see if anyone out there can actually get it right, and nail the entire log at the end of the season, right? So yeah, super excited for this. It's our first episode.
Yeah.
Hopefully the first of many more to come.
Excited.
So yeah,
Let's
should we
do
get going?
this. Let's do this.
Okay, we're going to start off with our first team, Newcastle United. Brandon, where do you think they are going to end up?
Ninth place.
Wow.
Big season for Newcastle.
Ninth place. That's top half, eh?
Yep.
I put them 13th.
13th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's a big difference if you think about it. It's a big difference.
No, it's a big season for Newcastle. They have to break top 10. I think if they don't break top 10 this season, honestly, I think Eddie Howe will. I think they'll say bye-bye.
Oh, really?
Not in like a bad way, but just maybe mutual. Because they have to. It's Abu Dhabi freaking owners, you know them.
Yeah.
They want to be getting up there. So I think top 10 is a realistic target for them to step it up the following season.
So I was going to ask you, so this is a big time for Newcastle of change, and it's like, who's going to be part of this new team that they're creating with all this money that they have? And so you think top half is the next stepping stone for them before they potentially can step into Europe?
Yeah. I think so.
You
think 13th, eh?
Yeah, I haven't seen. I take a lot of things from the transfer market and see ambitions in teams, and I know that's not where teams are made in the transfer market. I get that, but ambition, even when you make the wrong signings, it's the ambition that I want to see in teams, and I think they're in a weird place where they don't want to throw all these players out and get all these new players in. They're kind of like trying to be making the right business decisions of who they want to keep and who they want to bring in. So I think there's going to be a lot of, between the players, there's a lot to prove to stay in the team, and it might affect that team spirit, because you kind of want to outplay your teammate now, because you don't want to be the one that gets sold or put on the transfer market for the new good guys to come in with all this money. So it's a little bit of a weird dynamic for me. I think they will get there eventually, but I think it might take a little while. So
what makes me think they'll make top 10 is I think people do forget that Steve Bruce was the manager at the beginning of the season. And that the Abu Dhabi owners weren't there yet. So that whole takeover happened. Newcastle were struggling at the beginning of the season. And a crazy stat, from January to the end of the season, they were only behind Liverpool and Man City in terms of points.
That's big. That is big. So there's a team in there,
So with Eddie Howe, they're playing good football. So that's why I think ninth is a realistic. But let's see what happens. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. It's a fair point. It's a very fair point to make. I'm happy to be wrong in this, definitely, and that's a team that can definitely do big things. It's going to be a tough season, I think, to do well because of how the teams have strengthened. So it's going to be very interesting. Okay, next team, Bournemouth. Yes. Where do you think they're going to end up?
19th.
19th. Relegated. Welcome to the Premier League. Goodbye to the Premier League. Well,
absolutely.
I'm in the same boat as you. I'm a little bit.
Just
I think they're going to end rock bottom. Yeah. I've not seen the ambition from the. I mean, if you look at Nottingham and if you look at Fulham, how much they are investing in this season and what they want and they want to stay here. Yeah. That's their plan. I don't know. Bournemouth. It just felt like one of those It just feels like they're going to take their chances. We got here with the team we have, and we're going to give it our best shot. And we know how that goes. Fulham, 3 times in a row they've come up and gone down. So I've just not nothing from the Bournemouth side has made me think that they are, here to stay. As sad as that is to say.
Yeah, I don't think that Scott Parker is that great of a manager. And Bournemouth, maybe it's because I just don't like Bournemouth. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just want to see them go. I don't want Bournemouth in the league. I've said this to you before. Yeah. Their stadium, it's not Premier League standards.
It's true.
As a club, it's just
they're a little bit
Bournemouth. Freaking Bournemouth. That doesn't sound right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not right.
Look, Bournemouth fans, we're not trying to be insulting and stuff, but we need to see something. Bit. We want to see something from that team to look at the moment they look like a team that's going to be free points for the other teams to get. Yeah, so
that's true.
Rock bottom for me, I think. It's an easy one for me, but yeah. Okay, moving on. Everton.
Oh, Everton.
Where do you think Everton's going to end up?
Everton fans are not going to be happy with me. Well, maybe we'll be, considering we finished last season, but I think Everton's going to finish 13th.
Jeez, that's. I guess that is better, hey?
It is better.
I think they're going to end 15th.
Wow. Yeah. I'm so glad I'm not alone.
I don't know. Explain yourself, please.
So,
but we're talking about a big club here now.
Yeah.
Right?
Look, Lampard is not my first manager sacked this season, but I think he's going to be one of them.
Absolutely.
I
was about to say that. I 100% agree with you. Yeah. I do.
I saw, in his time at Chelsea, he had quality players, and it wasn't that great. When he was at Derby, he took them from 6th place to 6th place.
Yeah.
Great stuff. And then he got the Chelsea job after that. And at Everton, I honestly think their home form, like with the fans and stuff, is what kept them up last season. They've lost Richarlison. As much as I do not like the guy, he was one of their best players. They've lost him. So... they did sign, I think it was Tarkowski.
Yes, they did sign Tarkowski, yeah.
So that's an okay signing, not bad. They do need someone solid at the back. But other than that, it's just Everton are in a weird place right now.
They've got a good team. Like they do have really good. They've got good wingers and they've got good strikers and they've got good midfielders. The back line, Tarkowski is a good signing. I think it's definitely a strength there. But I think it's the manager. I think it's Frank Lampard. I don't know if he's got that. Like if you look at him and Gerrard, Gerrard came in Aston Villa, and just how the impact that he's had. Frank Lampard has been jumping around teams and he kind of bumped up to his big job, which is the Chelsea job, and it completely failed.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't. It doesn't feel like it's gelling that well. I think he feels like he's... I don't know. I feel like he has this plan, but he's not really sure what he wants to do with it. Or it's just, the board and him are just not... They're not on the same page with what they want to do. Yes, they saved themselves for sure last season, but I don't think it's going to get any easier at all. And it's sad because they are a big club. I love watching them in the Premier League. That's where they belong. I definitely think that.
No, 100%. As much as they are our rival, Everton should be in the Premier League. I can't imagine Everton not being in the Premier League.
I've actually seen a couple of predictions of Everton actually getting relegated.
Really?
Yeah, this season. A lot of people have said that they don't think they're going to make it. And as a shock to you, it actually does not surprise me. It wouldn't... last season, if they got relegated, it would be what?
Yeah.
Everton got relegated. But this season, it almost feels like if it had to happen, people are going to be we've seen this coming, So I do think they're going to... Frank Lampard's going to be sacked. Let's hope they bring in someone good.
Yeah. Big season for Dele Alli.
Yes, massive. He's such a good player. I really rate him. I really think he's a good player. So let's hope he has a big part to play in them not getting relegated,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Moving on. Southampton.
So, Southampton, I've got them finishing 17th.
Wow.
And he is my first manager sacked.
Okay. Who's the manager of Southampton?
Hootel. I hope he says. I always forget how to say his name.
Yeah. So, Ralph Hansel-Hüttl.
Mr.
Yes,
Ralph
Hansel-Hüttl.
Ralphie.
Okay. I actually don't know much about him, to be honest. Yeah, he's kind of...
All I know is people called him like a mini Klopp and stuff. And I'm like, you must be joking.
No ways, really?
Yeah. And he still cried. Oh, he cried when they beat us, and he was so happy. I was just so
that was last
just
season.
embarrassing.
It was last season.
It was the season before when we were struggling.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think Southampton are going to have a really rocky start to the season.
Interesting. Yeah.
And that's why they will sack him, and then they'll bring somebody in, and then they'll go up a bit, get that new manager bounce, and then as the season goes on, start dipping again, and then that's why they'll just survive.
Yeah. Actually, you said they're 16th, right?
17th. Yeah, 17th.
Oh, you said they're 17th.
Yeah.
I said that they were actually 16th, which is just one above you. Yeah, and it's interesting that we both think that, because they've been like the most mid-table team that you get, you know, like season in, season out. They're just like in that mid-table, and they're never like up there, never down there. It's always mid-table. And I just think if there's one season where you're going to want to try and stay in the mid-table, you actually need to improve a lot, because this season is going to be a tough season. There's been so much strengthening around the teams everywhere. And yes, Southampton they've done some recruitment and stuff, and they're looking to strengthen. But I just think, you know, with how things are going, the trajectory that things are going for them, it's just never been that they've never been stepping up. It almost feels it's like there's like a string waiting to break, and they're just going to start dropping down. Yeah. I don't think they'll be relegated, because they somehow always pull some results out the bag. But not a good season for Southampton, I think.
I agree. Totally agree.
Interesting for the manager. I don't know much about him, but yeah.
Do you think you will get sacked though? Not your first sack.
Yeah, definitely. No, if Southampton are hanging in the bottom 13th, below 13th place, I think the ambitions of the club is to definitely go upwards, right? So if he can't do that for them, something new. Yeah, definitely. Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay, moving on to Brighton. Of Albion.
Okay, I've got them finishing 16th. Which,
Oh, interesting.
As I'm saying that, I'm like doubting myself. But I'll stick to it. I've said it.
Well, I think that they're going to end 18th place. And I'm like, let me just explain myself here. So Brighton had a very good end. They had a very good season last season. I think they ended 9th or 8th, which was, you know, incredible. They smashed Wolves at home. I'll never forget that. But they, you know, played really well. They played like super well. I just there's a lot of links to Brighton telling like big players that they have now, and they might keep them, I might not keep them, but I think Brighton are in this weird place where as soon as they're going to do something good, they're going to not be able to resist the, you know, the players getting poached from the bigger clubs, and they're just going to then have to start again. And their season, like you said, you're not sure about Brighton. I'm not sure that Brighton will get relegated, but I will definitely not be surprised if they get relegated. So it's a little bit of depending how it can go, but I don't think that they'll end top half of the table. Yeah. That's for sure.
Well, listening to you talk, I'm thinking now in my mind, if I think Lampard's going to get sacked, Graham Potter would be a great manager to go to Everton and get there, because he makes Brighton play good football. He'd be a really good Arsenal manager as well. But anyway, he always got linked with the Arsenal job when who was it that got sacked? I think it was Emery. Anyway, whoever Arsenal's last manager was. So Graham Potter does get linked with the big jobs. There's a lot of potential there. He was linked with the England job at a stage. So in my mind, I'm kind of thinking maybe Brighton's fall will be because he leaves. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're just speculating.
But that's a very good point. I actually do agree with you. Like, I definitely think he could be Everton's. He could be Everton's savior. Graham Potter, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I know that there's a player that you really like from Brighton, Lamptey. He's a Brighton guy, right?
Yeah. That is. Thank you. You just reminded me though. Not because of Lamptey, but Brighton lost Basuma.
Yes, that's
Tottenham.
what it was. I was thinking
that is a massive loss.
That's a massive loss.
Okay, it's all now I understand why I put them solo. Okay,
no, that's true. That was Tottenham. I wasn't even at a high price at all.
Yeah, and that is a great
signing. That's a steal. Yeah,
he's solid.
If Cucurella had to go as well, I think
heavily linked to Man City.
If he had to go, then they're going to definitely fall into that.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of expecting it. I really think that he will go to Man City. And if that happens, it's going to be tough for them. So,
and it makes sense because they just sold Shevchenko to Arsenal.
Yes.
So they do need a backup.
They need a backup, and that's I think they were waiting for the money to come in. So okay, so interesting stuff. Okay, so and then we're moving on to our next team, Nottingham Forest, newcomers.
Nottingham, I think. Let me just make sure. 14th place.
14th.
A solid 14th place.
So you think there's going to be quite a big gap between 14th?
Yeah.
And 15th.
Between maybe from 15 to from the bottom there'll be a big gap.
Okay,
maybe.
Interesting. I think Nottingham are going to end 10th place. They're going to have one of those Premier League highs.
Now that is a bold prediction.
It is a bold. This is one of my
Newcastle who are trying, and then Nottingham comes straight into the league.
I do think that 100%. It's their first time back in the Premier League in 23 years.
Fans are going to be buzzing.
And the fans. Liverpool played there. It's a tough place to play. They have so much. Their fans are insane, and then I'm telling you now, to be back in the Premier League, from a team that has won the Champions League twice, to getting dropped so low, to now finally getting a chance back. I cannot see them, ruining this opportunity. And they've made the transfer market for them has been insane. I can't even keep up to the players that they are signing, and they're signing some good players.
Yeah.
I mean, the one that everyone's talking about,
Lingard.
that we're not really. There's a little bit of controversy about, Lingard, but that's still. For Lingard, as you know, he's a free agent. He sees potential there, and he's in that industry, and in the environment, and for him to see something at Forest, to go there, is big. You know? It's I really think they're going to have an incredible season.
Look, the Lingard thing is going to be interesting because I think we all see that Lingard that was at West Ham from January to the end of the season on loan from United, but that was the season before last season. So. I don't know. Lingard hardly played any football. So it's just going to be interesting to see what Lingard turns up. It's a massive... There's so much pressure on Lingard. It's a massive season for him. But I do agree. Obviously not 10th place, but 4 places below 14th place, Nottingham are going to do well. I'm just interested to see how they play away from home. Yes. I know at home they're going to be... Very tough. I can just imagine them being solid. But away from home is going to be interesting.
Yeah, good point. This is the one where we definitely have some different opinions, and I do agree with you. I think away from home is going to be tough, but I think that the heart of the fans, the heart of the players, this opportunity that they have is going to be something that they're going to really. I really think they're going to come out firing with a good season. Yeah, so Nottingham Forest fans should be very excited. Yeah, I think for this season. Okay, moving on. Fulham.
Fulham.
Last newcomers to the Premier League.
One below, 15th.
Okay. 15th place. That's not relegated. That's a good, I think that they're going to be 14th place.
Okay.
So, a solid 14th, I think. Maybe,
Big season for Mitrovic.
Big season for Mitrovic. He's got to prove himself this season.
But the reason I think maybe he will come into the league this time and score lots of goals is because... He wasn't just the top goal scorer in the championship. It was by miles. Yeah. It's So, big season for him. It's going to be interesting to see.
He just needs one good season in the Premier League to show what he can do, like he does in the... And I think, he's sorted,
Yeah, at the time of this recording, they have just agreed a deal for Leno.
Yes. Big signing. It's a big signing. I was making my predictions quite a while ago, and I put Fulham quite high. I think I put them 11th or something high. But then I watched a couple of their preseason games, and it was dreadful. Really? I don't know if they just it's a proper preseason feel for the players and stuff, but they were not playing well at all. It was back passes that were I think one of their players did a back pass straight into the goal. It was an own goal, but it was terrible. It was I can't believe I was watching. It was terrible. So I don't. And then I think that kind of influenced my placing of them.
Yeah.
But I get it, it's preseason,
Yeah.
like not reading too much into it, even though I'm contradicting myself because I did put them lower. But like they made some good signings. I think that the goal for Fulham this season is to not get relegated.
Relegated, yeah.
That's
and I hope they don't. Fulham is
Yeah.
another one of these teams where, to me, like growing up, Fulham was always in the Premier League. So I want to see them in the
Yeah.
Premier League, just like Nottingham. So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So high hopes for them to not get relegated. That's our high hopes. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Moving on to Brentford.
Brentford,
Brentford fans, yeah.
rock bottom for me.
Wow, 20th
Sorry,
place.
Brentford fans.
Brentford without Eriksen, 20th and 19th, eh? I put them 19th. You put them 20th. That's basically the same position.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Look, they started the season well. I think they were just super excited to be back in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I remember they had that first home game against Arsenal and beat them on the opening Friday night of the season.
Wow.
They drew against us as well. I think it was 3-3. They had a great start to the season. Then just before January and onwards, they just were dropping. And then Eriksen came in, and then things changed around.
Yeah.
I still remember they beat Chelsea.
Yes, I remember
Stamford Bridge.
Yeah. Eriksen did make a big impact.
100%. And now he's gone. I really think they're going to struggle
Yeah.
massively.
Speaking about Eriksen for a second, like, do you think he owes the Brentford team a bit more?
I do. I think one more
Yeah.
season would have been
Like
would have been good. I mean, they basically saved his career.
Absolutely.
Like, he was at Inter, they terminated his contract because too much of a risk. No clubs wanted to touch him.
Yeah.
Brentford gave him the chance, and to only give them half a season, I don't know. It just there's no loyalty in football.
Absolutely.
Like,
this is a tough one, and because like this is actually speaking about this is kind of giving me a little bit of a soft spot for Brentford, because they gave a player, a world class player, an opportunity. Said we'll take the risk on you, and Eriksen did the favor back and did incredible work for Brentford, and like what is Eriksen's goal? Is I get the career is super short, so you want to play in a team that's going to give you better things. Man United, like we'll get to Man United, but like I definitely think like the least you could have done was another 6 months at least, just to make it a year contract with Brentford,
100%.
and see where they're at. If they were going down, then for Eriksen to leave it's like we understand, I'm not going to go down. But who knows? If he stayed at Brentford, they could have had an incredible season.
Yeah.
And like super high up in the league, and it would have been this amazing story, But unfortunately, he didn't. So it's a little bit sad.
Yeah, Eriksen, the grass isn't always greener.
Yeah.
We'll get to Man United later. We'll probably talk more about Eriksen when we get to United. So
Ivan Toney not being signed yet.
Yeah, it's a big season for him.
Yeah.
This is probably the season where, like, he's gonna try play as well as he can and then get that move afterwards. Especially if Brentford are gonna go down.
Yeah. I to finish off on Brentford, he is my first manager. I think that is Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a very just a prediction. It's tough for me. This is a tough one for me, but I think Brentford had that taste of what it's like to succeed and to do well and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they're going to have a good start. I don't think they're going to have a good middle, and I don't think they're going to have a good end. So I think the club will quickly realize that there's nothing happening. Thomas Frank I don't think it's about Thomas Frank being a bad manager. I just think it's going to be tough for him with the squad that he has to build up again for this tough season coming up.
Well, look, I agree with you. I mean, the fact I have them rock bottom, I think it's going to be similar to, how Norwich got relegated, like, when there were already like 5 games left.
Exactly.
I think it might be a similar.
Yes.
Similar
Yeah.
story.
So I think he'll get sacked quite early, and then that'll give Brentford this new, try bring in a new Eriksen, not as a player but as a manager, just to give them that lift again. So if they're not going to get it from a player side, they might try it from the manager side. So so I've got a triple B for relegation there. Brentford, Brighton, and Bournemouth. So kind of interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I've still got one more spot left.
You got one more spot left. Interesting. Aston Villa. Mr. Gerrard.
8th place, which I think would be an incredible season.
That is huge. Okay, that is actually very surprising. I've put them in 7th place, which is... I did not think you were going to put them that high. I thought this was you would be like...
7th place is...
Conference.
When does Europa League start?
6th place, but 7th place is Conference League. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Liverpool fans don't know anything about the Conference League.
No. Yeah. We're not even predicting who's going to win the Conference League because we're so bored of that thing.
Yes, no, that's very true.
But,
okay, Aston Villa 8th place. So you think they're just going to miss out?
I think so. Yeah? But they are. That is their next step, is to push for Europe, and Conference League is Europe. So, So I've got them missing out. But you think they're going to?
I think they're going to make it. Yeah, and I mean, let's just. We spoke a bit about Lampard. Lampard is basically, I think Lampard just looking in the mirror, wishing he could be like Gerrard, like how incredible Gerrard's doing as a manager. And Gerrard has been doing amazing things, like the signings he's able to get to that club.
Yeah.
The fact, I know it was the last day of the season, last season, but like they went to the Etihad. They went 2 up on Man City, who's fighting for the league. Like, Man City is a tough team. Like, they are a tough team to beat in any game.
Yeah.
But to go there, put 2 up on City, and yes, there was a freak, like a couple of 5-6 minutes for City to win that game. But I really think if the title wasn't on the line, or if that was a game that was potentially mid-season or, not at the end of the season, they would have won that game. And they really played well, and I think if you take that form, that team transferred into this season, it's going to be an incredible season.
Yeah. Well, look, you know me, I've got a soft spot for Aston Villa, and of course with Gerrard as the manager, just takes it up a level. So I hope that you're right, and I hope that I'm wrong. But them keeping Coutinho, massive. They've got a great keeper in Martinez, and that guy the other day that I was telling you about. Who I said they signed was Bailey.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good signing. I think he came from Leverkusen, I think.
I think he does, yeah. I can.
So that is a great signing. Obviously, Ollie Watkins. There's that kid who last season had a big season. He looks like he has lots of potential, that Ramsey.
Yes, Aaron Ramsey.
It's a massive season. They've got a good squad, Aston Villa.
Yeah, absolutely. No, they do. I'm just looking at their squad now, and they've made some, like Bouba, what's his name? Boubacar Kamara is one of their new signings. A very good signing. Douglas Luiz looking very strong.
By the way, as of today, Mings, the captaincy, got taken off of him.
Oh, really?
Yep, got given to McGinn. Another good player.
Very
John
good player.
McGinn.
Okay, wow. Yeah, I think
interesting one.
It's an interesting one, but I think it might be a good call. Yeah. Someone fresh, someone exciting. Yeah. They've made some. I'm just looking at the signings they've made, and like I said, ambition for me in the transfer market shows a lot about the season ahead, and I think that they are probably one of the strongest. They've made some of the strongest signings. So, good manager, good players, fighting for a lot. So it's going to be an exciting season for them for sure. Cool. Let's see. Moving on to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Obviously, the team that I support.
I have got them finishing 11th, which I still think for Wolves, and with the other team strengthening, I think that's still a decent season.
A decent signing. I was so. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them on 9th place. I had them at 11th place for like the entire couple of weeks while I was doing these predictions before this show today, and I've been our Wolves' first team is like a solidly good team. Like, the fact that we can keep Neves and Morgan Gibbs-White coming from Sheffield back from loan is looking incredibly good, and we made some really good defensive signings. And Wolves is naturally a good defensive team, which I think in the Premier League is something that you just have to have.
Yeah. You got a really good keeper.
So, as our first team, as a squad that we put out on the first day of the season, injury-free, a team that could easily, well, I don't want to say easily, but a team that can make Europa League, Conference League. I really think that. I really believe that. However, like Wolves are a very unlucky team when it comes to injuries at like the most critical times, which Jimenez just got injured in pre-season, and we learned out Fabio, you know, but like injuries are going to come, and as a squad that has no depth, that's where our problems are going to be.
Yeah.
So I'm putting Wolves in 9th place because I believe that we'll make some signings to improve that depth, and to ensure that when things happen that the squad has to predict, we'll be able to get out of it and maybe end up 9th place, which I think will be a very good season. It's not what Wolves want. It's not what I want. We want Europe for sure, but it's going to be a tough season and we need a lot more depth. But if we don't make any signings and stuff, I think your 11th is a lot more accurate than my 9th.
If I told you that Wolves were going to just survive relegation but win the Carabao Cup, would you take it?
No.
Not? You wouldn't take winning a trophy?
Of course I would want a trophy, but Wolves, the ambition, like as a club, we're an established Premier League club now. We've proven that we finished 7th 2 seasons in a row, that dropped to 13th when we were in the Europa League for sure, and then now 10th, which should have been 8th because we just had such bad form. Like Carabao Cup is great to have, but our goal is to become one of the elite teams in the Premier League. And that's what I love about Wolves. Like Wolves are one of the smaller teams that not a lot of people notice and not a lot of people care about, but they're a team that don't see themselves as a small team. They're a team that goes out and they want to be the best, and that's what I love about them. So I really think as ambition and as a club as a whole, we want to push for Europe. That's where we want to be. It's going to be a tough season, I think, for them, but that's at least the goal.
Yeah.
Trajectory is upwards. Yeah. Sweet. We're not going to settle for a 1 cup and then survive relegation. Yeah, but maybe...
Hopefully you do at least have a cup run.
Yeah, let's hope not midway through the season when you're like in that position and I'll bite your hand off for the Carabao. But yeah, let's see.
Okay,
yeah. West Ham United.
West Ham. Okay, so we know that last season they had a great season and they just started dipping away from the Champions League towards the end of the season. So I think 7th place would be solid. I think that would be a solid.
That is a solid spot for West Ham. I think they're going to end at 8th.
Okay.
Yeah, 8th place.
Behind Aston Villa, that's so interesting.
Yeah, I think that those two are going to switch for sure.
Well, look, they've kept Rice, which is super important.
Yeah, good point.
If Antonio can stay injury-free. They've kept Bowen, which is super important. Yeah. That is really, really important, Jarrod Bowen, who I honestly think one day could be a Liverpool player. But yeah,
to replace
they've
Firmino,
kept.
You think?
No, on the right,
on the right.
A backup Salah.
Okay.
So they've kept their most important players. They've kept their defender who kicks cats, Zuma. I think they'll have a solid 7th. If you finish behind, all the top teams, that's not bad. 7th is a good.
That's quite consistent for West Ham. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but they ended last season. They were fighting for Europe constantly. They ended up getting Conference League, which was very surprising because all they had to do was beat whoever they played at the end of the season.
Oh, you're talking about in the league.
In the league, yeah, they just had to beat. I can't remember who they were playing in the last game of the season, and then they would have gotten Europa League, and Man United would have, because I think Man United lost their game as well or drew their game.
Yeah.
So Man United got Europa League thanks to West Ham, and that was for me when I was watching that game and it was just like. I don't understand why they didn't really go for that game.
Well, for me, and we'll talk about it more when we talk about Arsenal, but I've said this so many times, you can't do super well in the Europa League and in the league at the same time. And they made it to the semi-final of Europa League, and that always starts to kill your league season.
I'm very impressed that they actually ended up 7th, because it was tough for them going all the way to the semi-finals like that, So it shows that it's a good team and they've got a lot of depth and they really are like a team that can fight for. I mean, in my brain, if you're in the Europa League and you're going that far, in the league you should be like falling far, especially if you're not a top 6, team, and you're actually a team fighting to get into those positions. So that's very impressive. I do agree. That's very impressive. But I think they're going to miss out. This season. They are in the Conference League. They might take it seriously. They might not take it seriously. I'm not really sure.
I think they'll focus on the league.
Yeah, I do agree with you. But they're in that weird position.
Yeah.
So maybe with things going on like that in a very tough league this season, I think they might just miss out.
Yeah.
I hate it when Wolves end lower than West Ham. I just don't know. Like West Ham and Palace is like one of Wolves' Achilles heels, and I'm a little bit angry at myself for predicting it like this. But you got to give it. The Hammers are a good team. Yeah. So interesting.
Okay.
Moving on. Leicester,
I have got finishing 10th place.
10th place. That's Leicester. I don't know. Leicester. I've got them 11th. It's actually quite close to you. Yeah. Interesting. Leicester. I mean, like, what do you think's going on there? Why don't you think that they are in the Europa League, in the Conference League? They've proven themselves. They've proven that they can win the league. They're a good team. They've got very good players. What do you think the problem is?
I think it's Rodgers. I think Rodgers is the problem. With Liverpool and now with Leicester, so when he was at us, obviously winning the league was the target that one season. And something with Rodgers, like, always gets close to the target and then fails. And then we lost Suarez and all that stuff. And then the aim was just to get into the Champions League. Kind of started getting close, failed. Goes to Leicester, starts well. I mean, he won the FA Cup with them. That's amazing.
Yeah,
he beat Chelsea in that final.
Yeah.
But again, starts getting close to the top 4, and then at the end fails.
Yeah.
But now it seems like they're failing even worse. Like last season, they didn't get close enough to the. I know Maddison was injured quite a bit last season.
Yeah. And Vardy was also injured for.
And Vardy, look, he's great, but listen, he's another year older. He's in his 30s. So, I mean, I think it might be harsh to say Rodgers is holding them back, but I don't know. They've got the players, man. Yeah. Tielemans is a great player. They've got some good defenders. Well, kind of. Their defenders are extremely slow. Soinchu and the other player that they bought from Southampton. I think his name's Vestergaard.
Yannick Vestergaard.
Yeah. So I don't know. I know you think Rodgers might get sacked.
I think like Leicester. Yes, that is a. I think Rodgers is one of the managers that they're going to just say, look, this is a quality team. Let's get a manager that's going to bring out the quality. They didn't like Leicester. People are saying like, does Leicester even know that the transfer window is open? There's like hardly any signings. Nothing's happening. But like, it's okay because they have an incredible team. Like I really think that their team is good. I think that they got a much better team than West Ham. Put it out there like that. If you're on paper, if you put Leicester versus West Ham, I think Leicester's a much better team. They just need a manager that's able to bring that out of them, And what's so good about Leicester is they have that counter-attacking, kind of playing style, and they're so good at it. Like a lot of people say Tottenham, especially when Mourinho was there, like Tottenham was the counter-attacking gold class of a team. But I think Leicester, they've been matching that, season in and season out. That's what they're so good at. And if they can get a manager that can just maybe I don't know, keep that, but give them a little bit more, give them like something extra, they could easily end up in the top half, like way up in the top half of the table for sure. So it's I think if you sack Rodgers, thanks Rodgers for everything you've done. It's, we want to try something new, bring a good manager in. You never know what can happen. Yeah. Maybe Potter can go to Leicester.
That is also a really good shout. Yeah. That is a good shout.
Something to, because I mean.
Oh yeah, he could really get them.
I mean, they got Ndidi and Charberry, very good. They got Drewsbury Hall. He did very well last season. He played super well last season. So a team that I think is a bit of a sleeping giant, if you want to call it. So, even though won the Premier League recently. I get that, but
which was but that wasn't that wasn't meant to happen.
Yeah, there was a bit of a It was a 5 minute of last day of the season Man City kind of action. Okay. Leeds. There
we go. That's my 18th.
Oh,
that is my last slot.
That is a sad one. I think Leeds are going to just survive.
Just scrape by.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, it's just manager don't rate him.
Yeah. So you said that Everton's fans kept them up last season. I said that Nottingham Forest's fans, I mean, you said this as well, is going to be play a big part in what they're going to do this season. Why are we putting Leeds so low when they've got one of the craziest fan bases out there?
Because they've just lost too much in one go. They were already struggling with those quality players that were there. Now they've lost them.
Yeah.
And
so you're talking about Rafinha?
Yeah, Rafinha and Phillips, Calvin Phillips.
Oh, that's a big loss.
Massive loss. That's their whole engine room in the midfield gone.
That's very true. I forgot about Phillips. You're actually correct. That is a very big loss.
And Bamford gets injured
he's
much.
He's been very He was out basically the whole season.
Yeah.
He came back for a couple of games and got injured straight away again. I remember.
Yeah.
It was against Wolves that he got injured again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. It's a very What do you think they have that will? What do you think? What hope do they have to
I think what you're saying. I think the fans are the only hope. I see them struggling big time away from home, and I think home form is their only hope.
Yeah. That's half the points,
I mean, you've already had some of the squad members making memes about Ted Lasso, about the American manager and stuff. It's just it's just not a good situation.
One thing I'll give Leeds is they can score goals.
Yeah.
And in the Premier League, that's a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
It's a really hard thing to do. And Leeds have proven that they can score against any team. Yes, they concede a lot. But I mean, if you had to just really and arguably if you focus a lot on the defense, your goal tally will probably drop off a bit. But I mean, for the amount of goals that they do score, it's okay if it drops off a little bit. Just get your defense sorted. I know they played under Bielsa. They played this very they played the way they want to play. No matter
they wanted to win every
and I
game.
love that.
It is
awesome.
Great, but at the same time, don't be stupid.
Yes,
you gotta be smart.
You ended up fighting for your life last season, with that. So maybe maybe this season could be a bit different. And I think because it's going to be this change of play style potentially, to not just go out there and score four goals but concede 3 and hopefully win. Jesse March might they might change it a bit, but it's going to take a while. Transition is always a difficult period for any team. But I think if you had to just, nurture that process and change a bit, you might actually survive. And I think that's why it's going to be a tough season, but I think that they'll survive. I want to give them that at least. They've got some good players as well, so I like Leeds. I like watching them. That's one thing about them.
Like I've said again, Leeds is like a proper Premier League club. So
if they can survive, let's happy. Yeah. Okay, Palace.
I've got finishing 12th.
That is the most Palace. You know what? I'm exactly the same. And it's 12th place for Crystal Palace is the most Crystal Palace spot in the league. I don't know where they finished the last couple of few seasons, but I feel like in my brain. Yeah, it's always 12th.
No, it makes sense.
I just always 12th.
I think there will be pressure on Vieira to finish somewhere near the top 10.
Yeah.
But I think they'll just be fine. They'll finish 12th. I think they'll keep Vieira. I don't think there'll be any drama. It's just the most, I don't want to say boring, but it's just a stable Premier League club that's just going to finish 12th.
It's one of those jobs that you have that you don't really enjoy, but it brings in it brings in money just to have a middle class family feeding. It feels like that. One thing about Palace that I find interesting is I don't for other teams and stuff. They're not really a team that you want to play against. I don't like playing away from home because you're talking about Mull fans. They've got
they've got a very. I know England is in Europe, but that European, like, where they're pounding the drums and it's like super, like...
It is, the fan base as well. Yeah.
But they have lost Gallagher. He's gone back to Chelsea. So that is a big, big loss.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to find someone to... I know they have been looking. I don't know if they have signed anyone yet.
No, I don't think so.
But it is a little bit concerning because he was a big part.
Massive.
He was the massive link between the defense and the attack.
Yeah, he made it to the England squad. He had a great season with Palace. So big job for Vieira this season. But like I said, I think it's just going to be no drama, 12th place.
I always see Palace as a team with like almost some of the most skillful players. Like they have got such speed and such skill, but they just they can't like translate that into like winning football games. They always find good ways. They always draw big games.
Yeah.
And then they always lose surprising games.
Yeah.
And then they'll also like, win every now and then. Or win like a weird game, but like it's never that. You never like know what you're gonna get. Basically, it's a bit of like a yo-yo.
Especially with Zaha. So
are you surprised
if he can just play like where he doesn't think the whole world is against him, like all the referees are against him? Just play your football.
Exactly. It's a bit Neymar-ish, I agree. Like I think he's such a good player. He really is a good player. He just needs to stop. Yeah, I think exactly.
He's like a Pogba, man. Like on his day, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Just need to show it more.
When Palace win, he's very good, but when Palace lose, like when they're losing or when they're up against it, that's when he completely loses it. Yeah. So, but 12th place is the most accurate. I would not be surprised if you see a lot of Palace.
I think we've nailed that one. Yes. I think out of all these, I think we've.
That's the only one we've actually agreed on so far. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the top teams in the Premier League. I mean, not really the top teams. They're just part of the Premier League, but they end up on the top always. But let's move on to Tottenham.
I've got them finishing 3rd place.
Gee whiz, that is very high. That is our first Champions League spot. I have got them finishing... Oh, you know what? Before we started recording this, I was actually wanting to change my mind a little bit. And I think... I just think I might not. No. I'm going to keep them in 4th place.
I did have them 4th place.
Yes.
I changed my mind. Yeah.
You changed your mind?
Yeah.
Tottenham Champions League, do you think they're making Champions League last season is the reason?
I just think that now they have Conte for a full season. And I've watched some of their preseason games. And not that you read too much into preseason, but it just looks like a well-oiled machine. Yeah. They just look ready to go. It's opposite to, and we'll get to Chelsea, but Chelsea really ties into my discussion when it comes to why I put Tottenham 3rd.
Yeah.
But with Kane and Son, and I know you say they need to stop relying on that, but while they have them there, gotta milk it.
Yeah, no, I'm very surprised that they're still doing the Kane Son thing. But I mean, if something's not broken,
Yeah. And they have Richarlison, who, man, I hope he flops. Oh my word, I don't like Richarlison.
I think he's gonna frustrate you this season because I think he's gonna do quite well.
Yeah, in the preseason game, he looks like he's slotted straight in, and he's got a good connection with those two. So.
Richarlison and Everton just tried to do too much because he didn't have any other option. Now he's got world-class players with him, so I think he'll do well. Basuma, obviously, we spoke about.
Exactly, so solid. Signing. Exactly what they needed in midfield. Yeah. He would have been a great signing for someone like United. That's who they needed.
Yes.
That solid midfield player.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm good, like a very good team of an incredible manager. And let's not forget, they just signed Perisic from Inter as well.
Exactly.
That's a big signing. He's a solid player, big player. He really knows how to get the ball, good with long balls as well. So I think it's a Tottenham team under a full season with Conte,
Yeah, my expectations are actually really high. I think it's going to be similar to, how Chelsea up until January were title contenders. I think it's going to be the same at Tottenham. They only drift away near the end.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling. So yeah.
Yeah, good points. Tottenham, it's going to be good. They're going to be a tough team. I think they're going to win big games as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arsenal.
Across
the pond.
I have got finishing 6th place.
Ooh, jeez, 6th.
6th
I mean,
place.
did you see that?
I know.
6th place. I actually have Arsenal finishing 5th place. And this was my decision making. I really wanted to put Arsenal above Tottenham. But just thinking about the Conte and the players they have, I don't think Arsenal will finish above them. But Arsenal...
Yeah, well, I think they're going to win Europa League.
Oh,
so that's why this makes more sense. So they will be in the Champions League, I think, in the next season coming because of the Europa League. And that's why I think they'll fall short and finish 6th place because they're going all the way in the Europa League. And like I said earlier about West Ham, can't do well in both. It just drains your team. But yeah, with Jesus and Shevchenko, they signed that Vieira kid who apparently is very, very good.
He's a good player.
Yeah, they've made some really solid signings.
And they've got a very young squad, which is good sometimes. They've got this incredible future and this talent that they're building together now. And the thing with young players is they've got so much energy and they've got so much heart and stuff. So I mean, let's just for a second talk about the preseason game between them and Chelsea.
It wasn't even close.
Chelsea,
it genuinely wasn't even.
If you just take the goals out of it, even they completely overplayed Chelsea.
100%.
I think your Europa League shot is a good one. It makes sense. I actually initially did have them winning the Europa League as well, but it's a tough competition, and I think Premier League teams generally focus, if they're in the Europa League, they try and focus a lot more on the Champions League if they're in the Champions League. But if the Europa League is their best shot in getting into the Champions League, I can't see why they won't go all the way for sure. But it's going to be another good derby season between Tottenham and Arsenal.
Oh, for sure. I think that the matches between the two are going to be a lot more
very
interesting.
Intense. Yeah. I mean, Jesus already.
He looks confident.
Like he. I saw him on the telly. I saw Jesus an Arsenal show. And he just looked.
It looks right.
It looks like he's always belonged there. Yeah.
And he's playing like he's always been there.
Exactly.
He's slotted straight into the team.
So that's a very, very good signing. Yeah. Man City, first
place, unfortunately.
Again, I mean, it's tough to keep that up for Man City. I actually think they're going to end up third.
Third?
Yeah.
Wow, that is really taking me by surprise.
That is low. I know. I don't know. I know, people are there's so much expectation on Man City. And something about this season, it just feels like I almost feel like what Man City was doing was working. They had this weird system that people were saying it's not going to work. You don't have a central striker, and they've got this. They're playing ball super well, and they kind of just they outplay teams. That's what Man City does. They just pass the ball so much, the other team gets dizzy and they fall over. That's basically what happens. Now they're so they proved everyone wrong. Not that they're not going to win the league, but that they didn't need a striker. Everyone was like, they need a striker, but Pep said you didn't need a striker. Now they got a striker, incredible striker. I've just got this weird feeling that they're going to try and now change maybe the way they play, or he's going to be influential in what happens in the way that the team goes forward this season.
So do you not think he's going to hit the ground running?
I think it's going to work. Look, I've got them ending third. It's still very high.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the fact that you're going, what? That's so low, but it's third place. That's a high. But I think because it's this player now that's in the central striker, it might have to, it will change a bit in the City, formation or the City playing style, which might either work and they're going to win the season by far, or it might actually not work. And the players are going to be bummed that there's this whole new way of playing with this new guy and everything rolls around him. And now we have to just get the ball to him and it might not work. So I'm going with it might not work.
Yeah. And by the way, also, I've got them winning the Carabao Cup.
Yeah. That's a big shout.
I mean, Man City love that trophy. They've won it, I don't know how many times in the last couple of years.
Yeah. That's a good one. But my reasoning for why they're going to finish third is this is my boldest prediction.
Champions League.
for this show is I think City's going to win the Champions League. So then again, like you said, going all the way, City. Like, yes, Pep can say anything he wants. The Premier League is the most honest league. It's 38 games. It doesn't lie. I get that. It's true what he's saying. But we all know there's one trophy that Pep's chasing. The one that he just can't get, and that's the Champions League. Yep. And I actually think they're going to put so much... Excuse me. They're going to put so much into the Champions League that they actually... they're more than good enough to win it. They're going to go all the way. Premier League's going to take a back seat. The fact that I actually think they're going to finish third is really impressive. So that is my reasoning.
I hope you're right, man.
Yeah, that is my reasoning. Right. And then Pep's going to win Champions League, and that's going to be the Pep cycle done. So yeah, big predictions. Yeah. If you guys think Man City's going to win the Champions League, if there's anyone out there that's maybe with me, feel free to back me up on that. Okay, you happy to move on?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say from City side?
Nothing.
Let's get away from rivals.
Yeah. No, let's get away from him.
Manchester United.
5th place for me.
5th place.
5th place. I think they're just gonna miss out on Champions League football.
I've got them at 6th place. And
6th place.
That's how annoyed that I have them there, because I just want. They need.
Either way, it's gonna either be. I really think one of us is right here. Yeah. Surely. I think either... Because United are in Europa League as well, aren't they? So one of those clubs I think is going to go far.
Yeah.
And then do better in the vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's going to happen to somebody. I think one of us is definitely right here. But yeah, like I said, I think Arsenal's going to be Europa League. I think United will do better in the league, but just miss out.
Yeah.
But Eriksen and all that stuff, we said we were going to talk about Eriksen. I don't see Bruno and Eriksen playing at the same time. I think that's too
risky.
That's way too risky, especially for United, because let's be real, they have just Bruno and they have Fred and McTominay as CDM sitting behind him, and they still get played straight through the midfield. So can you imagine Bruno and Eriksen and then just one of them at the back?
Yeah, that is a disaster.
Flipping, Fred's wondering, where's McTominay?
I think it might be a tough season for Fernandes. He hasn't looked like the Fernandes that played in the past.
Not at all. I don't know if it's maybe because of Ronaldo or if he just wants to be that spotlight player. When he came in that January, he was almost like the Messiah. We love Fernandes. And he was thriving on that.
Man United fans always say he loses the ball a lot, but it's fine. Yeah. He does lose the ball a lot.
A lot. Yeah. And it seems like that little hop is not working anymore.
Yes, it's not. It's a disaster.
It's not looking. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in a place where he wants to just, maybe go.
I think so.
See. Yeah, but it's a good shot. So there's that fight now. Who's going to get that position?
And Eriksen used to play for Ajax.
Yeah.
And so there's that Ajax link, Ten Hag.
Yes.
So I think maybe Ten Hag will prefer Eriksen over Bruno, because that Ajax style of football where it's very possession based, you don't want Bruno really in a possession based team.
Yes, you're so right. Yeah, that's why. You're so right. So I think with our predictions, people are going to say the Ten Hag didn't work. The Erik Ten Hag, this new guy, and he's building the whole team from scratch. It's not going to work. But I think what's going to happen is I actually think that Man United are going to win one of the cups, and I'm leaning more towards the FA Cup.
Okay.
Which is a big cup. Everyone loves the FA Cup.
United, they got to be realistic.
Yeah.
If they finished what you're saying 6th, and won the FA Cup, where you've been the last couple of years,
massive.
That is a good season.
Exactly.
They've got to be realistic.
That's why I think that the Erik Ten Hag is going to look like a fail if you just put it on the screen like this, because that's basically where they ended last season, and it was this disastrous season for Man United.
Yeah.
But they ended up in the Europa League, which is not good enough for them because they're entitled to have more. But now with my prediction, it's going to be the same, but they're going to win something, and then everyone's going to trust Erik Ten Hag. He only had a year with the team. Give him another year. It's going to be those conversations floating around. I can see it. I can smell it now. So I think they're going to win one of the cups, And I think the FA Cup, fair play, but it's not going to be the Champions League that this Ronaldo player of them that's chasing so hard.
Yeah.
So
at the time of recording this, we still don't know
if he's
the
going to
Ronaldo
stay.
situation. I know he was supposed to have showdown talks with the club. Don't know the result of that yet.
I know Bayern Munich turned their head,
no one wants to pay that.
No one wants him.
Just watch. This is what's going to happen. Can I tell you what's going to happen? He's going to stay at United and watch. It's not going to be like, well, no one wanted to pay the 450k. It's going to be like, Ronaldo decided to stay.
Yes.
He decided to stay and help us.
Exactly.
The savior. But no, it's just because no one wants to pay it.
It's exactly that, Brandon. You're so right. And then, any kids out there that are going to go watch the game, just keep your phones away from him because it's going to be that season. It's going to be one of those seasons. He's coming to the culmination of his career now. It's going to be one of those seasons. Okay.
Go Chelsea.
Okay, let's do Chelsea.
I've got them finishing fourth.
Fourth place.
And their preseason, I am reading into their preseason. I really am. Because it's not about them losing. It's like, it really looks like their players, a lot of them don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Aspinaqueta still wants to go to Barca.
Yeah.
By the way, Barca just beat Chelsea to Koundé. They're not going to get Koundé, Chelsea.
Which is a massive
Pulisic wants to go. Obviously, Rudiger's gone.
Alonso
apparently wants to leave.
Yeah.
Werner is apparently linked to like Juventus or something.
I'm sure that's...
It's just something is not right. And you could see by Tuchel's interview after that Arsenal game, he was saying like, we're not ready. Like, we're not ready for the start of the season.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me feel that, yes, they've made two good signings in Koulibaly and Sterling, but something is not right at the club. And that's why I think they'll finish fourth
place. Look,
which in a disaster season is not that bad. I mean,
it's not. It really isn't. I can't disagree with you. I have to say, like, I still think Chelsea, like, just look at the manager that they have. They've got a really, really good manager, and then they're still keeping. They're losing good players, but they're keeping really core ones. And they're making some signings to build into that core structure that they have. So I think they are a little bit of it. They're like the quality that they showed to challenge for the title like they did last season. I think, Tuchel might learn a lot from what he did wrong, where it failed and stuff. Yes, he needs to get the team together. I completely agree. But I think once he has that team on his side, with the kind of manager that he is and the kind of football that he likes to play, I really think that they can be a top... Like, I really think they should win the season sometime soon in the future. And it will be so nice to have a third team in that incredible fight, for first, like Liverpool and City have been for the last couple of years. And to bring a third team into that mix is something that needs to happen, and it's something that will happen.
Yeah.
And I think Chelsea is that team.
Yeah. So you think Havertz, they're going to keep Havertz as striker?
See, that's I think they need to sign a good striker.
Yeah,
I don't rate Havertz.
Lukaku's gone back.
But
he started the season on freaking fire.
Yeah. But I mean, everyone.
And then he said his whole.
All the Chelsea fans.
Inter will always be my home or whatever.
Yes.
And then he just blew it.
Yeah, all Chelsea fans, they didn't do the Lukaku thing, and it's good that he's gone. Just find that new striker. Havertz, Werner. Werner just misses chances for me. Like he misses more. He misses the easiest goals. I don't. Sure, man. He needs. Yeah. Something about Werner is not working. Havertz, he's a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, has his moments.
He has his moments, but they need that. They need that Haaland and they need that Darwin.
Yeah.
They need that signing, and I think if they can get that signing, they got good defense, incredible midfield, probably one of the best midfielders in the game in Kante.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So you've got them finishing
second place, yeah.
Interesting.
Final team, Liverpool.
One more to go.
Yeah.
So I've got Liverpool finishing second place. But I want you to go first because you've got them finishing first.
I've got Liverpool finishing first. Yes, my bet. You're a Liverpool fan. It doesn't give me joy to see Liverpool beat Wolves or Liverpool winning and not Wolves winning. But it gives me joy, to see Liverpool beat City. I have to admit that. But I think Liverpool has this tendency, the opposite of what Brendan Rodgers did for Liverpool, where he just miss out. Klopp is one of those guys that will miss out, and then he'll come back and he'll freaking destroy, and went far. So I think it was one of those seasons again, just like the season before you guys won it in 1920, where you guys just missed out by a point. You came back next season.
18-19. Are you talking about the season we won it?
Yes, the season
we won it in 1920.
Yes, in 18-19 you lost by 5 points. It was this season. Oh, that happened
this
again.
Season again.
Exactly. So if we're going to continue that trajectory, Liverpool are going to come back massively strong.
Yeah.
They've looked really good in preseason. You can see that they're really using preseason as testing. And they're one of the few teams that actually look like they're just using preseason as testing players and different kind of balls and stuff, not giving anything away. Whereas other teams are already playing, they're playing their style. So I think there's a lot of Liverpool that are still going to come in this season. I think they're going to be just again one of those teams they are the team to beat. City's going to have other priorities.
Yeah.
Liverpool as well, but your focus is that Premier League. We missed out on last season. Let's go win it this season. That's the message.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
For me, so at the time of this recording, it is the day after we just lost to Salzburg in a preseason friendly. And in that game, I saw so many things last night where literally Trent wasn't doing that overlap to whip in the ball.
Yeah.
Henderson was overlapping. Trent, dude, it was like a front four.
What?
Where Trent was in the middle of it. So as we push up the field, Trent goes so inside that he's part of that line in front and he almost becomes a number 10.
What?
It was crazy.
I think I did see the formation. It was 1-4-4 or something weird.
It was crazy.
The weirdest formation.
But we've changed the way that we've played. We're not doing that thing where we go out wide and then whip the ball. We're playing it direct to Nunes the whole time, a different type of... So we just look way more direct. So it's cool that we're changing it, but what I saw last night that... Oh, and by the way, I've got us winning the Champions League and the FA Cup. So that's a good season.
Whoa,
Second and the FA Cup and Champions League, that's a flipping... I'll bite your hand off now for that.
It was basically going to be that last season, if you guys didn't lose to Real Madrid.
Because
terrible Real Madrid.
Like you said, where... we just missed out and then we went to win the league.
Yeah.
A similar thing happened before that with the Champions League, where we made it to the final, lost to Real Madrid, and then won the Champions League the next season. But this season that just passed, we had both at the same time. We just missed out and also just missed out. So I think we will win either one of those, either the league or the Champions League. I really do believe that. But yeah.
It's a good.
That's what I was saying. Sorry to interrupt you. That's what I was saying was last night in that game. Obviously, I was sitting back thinking, "Oh, it's okay. It's preseason friendly. We've lost, no problem." Klopp was going ballistic.
Oh, really?
I thought honestly it was like a final. He was on the field at the end of the game, chasing the referee,
what?
Going crazy. And I was like, "Yo, okay." Mentally. We are in that competitive state.
Which is a good
we are ready. We can relax as fans. But you want the players to be. So I was like, yo, we are ready to go. So that made me stoked. So I was glad.
That's true. Look, when it comes to Klopp, you guys, Liverpool lose games that you can afford to lose. Always. But then you win games that you have to win. In the comments I can see people saying what happened to Real Madrid? That was the weirdest team that won
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
That was the most Real Madrid thing. They did it to what? They did it to us. They did it to PSG. They did it to Man City. They did it to Chelsea.
So I'm not reading too much into that, but Klopp, it's difficult for you to see who's going to knock out Liverpool in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. I don't know. I don't think you guys are going to win it. But I'm very intrigued to see who's going to be knocking you out. So
I think we've just lost too much in attack to go on for all the competitions last season.
I think they're gonna win it. You think they're gonna have a very good season. That's fair play. You have every right to think that based off last season and the whole bunch of seasons before that. So it's a good prediction. I'm looking at both our logs here, and it's very similar, except the only one we really matched was Palace, which is no surprise. But everyone is like 1 up, 1 down. 1 up, 1 down. So it's quite a similar. And we didn't discuss the logs together at all. It was him by himself, me by myself. So it's very interesting to see how we both think that these teams are going to end up very close to each other. So any last thoughts on some managers sacked or some top goal scorers and top assists?
I will give you my assists and goal scorer. I think the top goal scorer this season will be Salah, and I think the top assister will be Trent. But I think I'm definitely wrong. 100% I actually think I'm wrong because of what I saw last night. Because of that style where
playing direct
Trent, Trent's not doing that anymore.
But you still think Salah must score all the goals?
Salah, I think yes. Salah, I think will be the top goal scorer. Okay. I think it'll be between him and Haaland. And Salah he thrives on competition with somebody.
Salah has to score 20 plus goals, otherwise
he could even end up with the most assists like last season. Honestly, Salah's just that kind of guy. But that's for me.
Good shot. I think that top assists is going to be between Kane and Salah.
Okay.
I think with bringing in Darwin into the team, Salah's going to have that option to pass to, and he's been a player to pass a lot lately and stuff. If he gets put in a situation 1-by-1, he's going to try and get he's going to try and dribble the ball through the entire team and pop it into the little near post. But now that Darwin's going to be running there constantly, he's not going to he's not going to knock past him. I think he's going to get a lot of assists. And the same with Kane. Now that you have Richarlison in the mix with,
but you think Kane's going to do that thing where he drops deep?
I think he's going to drop deeper, and Richarlison and Son are going to be his options. I think that's going to, and I think he's going to get, and he's brilliant.
He's fantastic.
I did initially have De Bruyne as the most assists as well, so I think he's going to have that same role, to get it into Haaland. So,
I just think his injuries would stop him.
Yeah, potentially, and the way that Man City might play might be different. So I think Salah and Kane as top assists. And I think the top scorer is going to be Luis Diaz.
Now that is
crazy.
A crazy prediction.
Diaz has been running down that line, coming back in, and he's been shooting almost every single time he gets the ball on the edge of the box or / just in the box. He loves to shoot. Salah will be more conservative to try and ensure the goal, whereas Diaz just wants to shoot and shoot and shoot. And I think it might work out for him this season.
I hope so. That is the one thing he's lacking.
He's got some of the best people to get the ball to him. And then he's got the freedom to shoot, knowing that there might be a guy to cover for a foul. Yeah. So I think he's going to, in his brain, he's going to be like, I'm just going to shoot. And he's a brilliant player. So I think he's going to get the most goals. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Cool. End it there,
So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please let us know your predictions. Where do you think we are wrong? Please remember to like and subscribe. And we will be posting weekly. We promise we'll try to keep it up as much as possible, reacting to all the results that happen during the Premier League season. So thank you so much, guys.